By Sprint, proud partner of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By Subway Restaurants. Subway, drive hard, eat fresh. And by the auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. It's time for the singular virtual crew chief. Will a driver starting outside the top 15 win today's race? Yes or no? Junior started outside the top 15. Text the word crew to 191 on your singular wireless phone, or log on to foxsports.com/singular. You'll also be entered in with a chance to win and race with Jeff Burton's payday at the July race at Daytona, race that you can see on Fox. So far, Jeff Hammond, impatience and urgency, a couple of words coming to mind.
Yeah, definitely so. You see these guys strung out. Guys at the tail end of the field like Jimmy Johnson, he knows he's got to get a move on, otherwise the leaders will be all over him. But guys, you need to kind of keep an eye on. Kyle Busch won the race yesterday, sitting back there in 17th. He is probably going to be making his way toward the front, and don't be one bit surprised to see Jamie McMurray following. It
snowed earlier today. The sun is out now, Mike, here in Bristol.
Get except for the restart. Johnson, as Larry pointed out, has to start tail end of the longest line. He cannot pull up on this restart.
He was trying.
And he just got reminded of it, too, because he was headed to the front.
Now, before you text no, because of the points, a lot of drivers starting outside the top 15. Yesterday's winner, Kyle Busch, Jeff Burton, Kenny Schrader, and others.
Look at this. He's over in turn 2. Jimmy Johnson is, and we're getting the green right here. So he's over a half lap. He's 2/3 of a lap down.
And he can only pass to the outside before you get to the start-finish line and take the green.
But there you see it right there. You see the leaders already over here in the middle of 3 and 4. Jimmy Johnson just now going into turn 1, 2/3 of a lap down.
Dale Jarrett kicked up to the high side. Brian Vickers underneath him, and here comes Kyle Busch.
Dale's car doesn't look real good right now, and he's got himself on the outside, but he's able to work it back in by just cutting little Busch no slack. He just cut down on him. I guess a little Busch would be a shrub, right?
Which was Kyle's nickname growing up. Biffle the leader, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, and Carl Edwards in 4th place, Jeannie.
Carl Edwards coming on the radio here during the caution, saying, I'm tight in the middle and loose off. And very carefully, his crew chief, Bob Osborne, came back at him and said, I'm not saying you're doing this, but that loose off may be that you're trying too hard. Not that you are, but just a thought. Matt?
Kurt Busch just passed Mark Martin to take over the 5th position. Now Busch is having issues still with that radio. His team is asking him to use hand signals. He first put a hand on the window net, letting them know that he could hear them. But he cannot communicate to the team what the race car is doing, so radio problems persist for the former Bristol winner.
You know what I used to tell Hammond when he'd tell me something like, you're maybe trying too hard, or maybe it's something you're doing? I said, dude, you need to work on the car and quit working on me.
But Darrell, I think it's safe to say at this racetrack you definitely have to drive it with the throttle as much as you do the steering wheel.
Well, forward bite here, you just have such a hard time hooking up. The track's got those little chattery marks in it, breaks the rear traction.
Rookies battling, and Robbie Gordon right amongst them in the 7. Clint Boyer 07, Denny Hamlin 11. Both started deep in the field. And here comes Bobby Labonte now driving the Petty 43. He led 33 laps last week at Atlanta. And he looks to be strong here. Had good times in practice.
We talked about this a while ago, though. This is classic Bristol. Clint Boyer in their 07 was trapped on the outside, but he finally gets to the bottom of the racetrack. That's what that driver's looking for there, is for that spotter to say, clear low.
Once you get shoved up, you say, oh, man, oh, no, now what am I going to do? Because you got to almost just take a chance of forcing yourself back in line and hoping the guy doesn't run over you.
Tell you what, we're looking back at Robbie Gordon in that 7 car riding with Denny Hamlin in the 11. Robbie Gordon has definitely made some ground. Started back in 37, as you mentioned, Mike. He's made his way all the way up to 27th, so he's on the move.
I tell you what, here's the cat that's on the move, guys. I just got to tell you, I'd put a lot of money on that 2 car today. It looks, I tell you, and I'll tell you why. Not because Kurt's driving it, but because I know how Rusty always ran here, and that car looks exactly like it does when Rusty has driven it here.
And it's the same car that he actually raced. No, it's the same team, but it's the car he raced here last year.
You take Kurt Busch at this track, we know he's good here. You put him in that race car, I believe that's a winning combination.
On the Fox tracks, you saw the deficit to the leader is measured in car lengths. There's no point in measuring seconds here, but car lengths are pretty much how you judge. Jeff Burton backing up. He's given up a lot of spots and finally drops in line. But let's check with Matt.
Hey, just to add further on the 2-car, Mike, now still having radio issues, but DW, most of the guys that are on this 2 team, the core mechanics came with Roy McCauley from that Busch team that they ran so successful last year.
Yeah, man, I just think the car just looks so good. He's going around Matt Kenseth. He's up to 3rd place. I tell you, the car looks really good.
You know, we talk about a half-mile racetrack, and it's been about 20 laps. Look at this. The entire half-mile racetrack, it's like a conveyor belt of cars. You have to look closely to see who's even leading the race.
It's hard to find the leader. That's why we have Fox tracks. There he is, Greg Biffle. Now, he has a sizable lead, and at Bristol, 1.2 seconds is sizable. It's almost half the length of the back straightaway.
But he's going to lose every bit of that here very shortly, Mike, because he's coming up on the back of the field, and these guys are going to race really hard to try to stay on the lead lap.
In the back of the field still consists basically of Jimmy Johnson in that 48 car. He has absolutely went nowhere, even by putting fresh tires on in that last caution.
He's not happy with that car. I heard him talking about the steering. One thing I have had happen here with real low air pressure, I have had the steering box lock up when your pressures are real low.
Now Jimmy's got a giddy up go. His mirror is full of Greg Biffle. He's worked his way around the 32. That's Travis Kvapil. And Biffle is going to take a little more time getting past Kvapil than Johnson did. As Kvapil struggled, this is perfectly legal, Darrell, trying to struggle as stay on that lead lap if you can.
I think that's the big thing, if you can. And he obviously couldn't, so the Biffle right on by.
.39 of 500 laps complete in Thunder Valley. And Greg Biffle, second in points last year from the outside pole because qualifying was rained out, has assumed command of this race.
NASCAR on Fox.